everyone, it is me, Later Dragon Sonic. You've seen the intro, you know the deal. It's the final race of Season 5, it's the championship decider in the formerly Monoposto Championship, and we're heading to Yas Island. Rodney Solar and Later Dragon Sonic enter this race tied on points, 245 apiece. Their teams, it's more likely for Mercedes EQ to win. But I can tell you this. This has been an unprecedented scenario. Rodney Solar could have won the championship in Spielberg, but he didn't. He retired from the race. Later Dragon Sonic won the race, and we were returning to the state of the championship before London. So, what about the team radio that I promised? Well, here's how that's going to work. You're going to see text saying team radio at the side of your screen. It's going to have the driver, their team, and the text. I'm not going to read that out, it's just going to be team radio. I'm still going to be commentating over it because it's actually going to be done in post. This might also actually be the last video that I'm going to be doing on this Tech Class tablet, this M40 Air. It served me very well, but this might be the last one done on it. But yes, let's head to Yas Marina, the Yas Island, Prix. And it's Later Dragon Sonic on pole, followed by Rodney Solar, separated by only 2 1,000ths of a second. Then comes Catfish and Milestone, then Iron Babness and not Lewis Hamilton. Then Ravo, UK Ball, Aldridge in the 90, and Bituku rounding out the top 10. Then comes Tom O'Connor and Jake Dennis, Stefan Sadezan, Alan Lee, Marcus Nelson, Daf Sanchez, Navisis, and Yusuf. Then comes Sierra, Polarock, Mohamed Awawi, and in last place Karim Chandok. We have information on Season 6. That is, Mahindra are going to bring in a massive upgrade that might see them head to the front of the grid. But we'll only see if that works after this. They're side by side on the grid currently. They're level on points. Who will come out on top for the final time in Season 5? All 5 lights have gone on, and we go green in Yas Island, and that's a very good start from Later Dragon Sonic. He's covered off the Jaguar coming down into turn 1. It's got an amazing launch in the second phase. Catfish getting past his own teammate there, as it was back in Abuja last season. A bit of a mutiny starting to form maybe in Jaguar, because down the inside on Later Dragon Sonic goes Catfish into the lead of the Yas Island Grand Prix. Rodney Solar coming back on his teammate, getting up into second place. There's a three-way fight for the lead here in Yas Island, and Rodney Solar leads. Catfish is about to get dive bombed by Later Dragon Sonic there. He has been. So Later Dragon Sonic is second, and Catfish is third. Milestone has had a shocker of a start. He's down in 6th. Aldridge has found himself ahead of UK Ball. Brilliant start for the Dragon driver. May only seem like he's only gotten past one driver, but there is a massive performance difference between those two cars. Oh, that was very wide from... Oh, that almost looked like a bit of contact there for Stone and Badness with Ravo. Ravo becoming a bit of a ping pong ball in that battle, but up in front then, Rodney Solar is doing everything he needs to become champion in Season 5. It's lap 2 of 20 in race 20. He's 8 whole tenths, a whole second ahead of his championship rival, the maestro of the championship, Later Dragon Sonic. As Sanchez, actually Flavi Sport, he's down in 22nd now. Those hard tires are not switching on as much as he'd want them to. Stone in 6th place though. He's got DRS on Ravo ahead, but he's got DRS on Annette Babiner. So coming through the chicane, that's very close. He's sent it down the inside. Almost pile drive into the wall. That's almost definitely a corner-cutting penalty. They're gonna fight that one with the FIA though. Almost definitely, because he's been forced wide there, but Ravo gets back ahead of him anyway. Rodney Solar setting the fastest second sector of anyone. and he's probably just trying to open up the gap for the pit stops in case Mercedes try to go for an undercut, because undercuts are just super powerful. Fresher tires, especially with these, are the tire will just do much better when you have fresher tires. Ronnie Solis having a new fastest lap of the E3, a 1:14.550. He's 1.2 seconds ahead of Bladed Dragon Sonic. He's almost definitely doing some tire management. No, he isn't. He's just at the first lap has that Mercedes. Does he have DRS on this main straight though? He does not. He's gonna keep dropping away if he can't get DRS. Because as we can see on board with Iron at Babinus, you can gain with DRS quite substantially, especially on these two straights that come back to back. However, looking at the timing tower, I think it's pretty obvious as you can see what's going on. We go on board with Mercedes. He has DRS, but he's nowhere near close enough to try and make an overtake, because Ronnie Sola is putting in comparable sector times, or many sector times, compared to Bladed Dragon Sonic. It's absolutely going to be a strategic masterclass from whichever team comes out on top here. Last season, Jaguar tipped their first ever Constructors standings when they trumped Mercedes. But can they finally top the team from Brackley in the drivers? We go on lap 4 of 20 now. Solo leads. Bladed Dragon Sonic is still second. That's 1.3 seconds down, man. He's not getting DRS at all. So unfortunate. This man, we would love to see a closely fought fight. Can't get DRS on the straight, then, well, you're not gonna get it ever. You get it on the second straight though, which is a very nice inclusion. But as you can see, he's just too far back. It's 9/10 of a second between these two. And those tires are not getting any fresher. So coming through this long turn, and that was added due to complaints about a lack of overtaking. And while further down the order, UK Ball's got himself back up into 8th, which is good. But he did lose out on the start, man. That was an awful start for the Revolution Racing driver. On board with Aldridge though, oh, it's very, very close between everyone in this midfield pack. Meanwhile, up front, the highest position height you're gonna get is for third, actually. Alright, we've stayed on board with Catfish. He's been overtaken by Stonehead. Lap 6 of 20. There's definitely a bit of fuel spread going on. Yusuf is very slow there. He's got a front left puncture. Yusuf from Mahindra Racing. His final race in his debut season. He came in guns blazing. But he's really going out on a whimper here. More of a whimper than the engines in the back of these cars. but a whimper nonetheless. Blade Dragon Sonic, he's closing in on Ronnie Sola. But could this change the tide of the championship battle? Because out in front, it is basically just 0-0. Yusuf's coming through the final 10 now. He's in the pit lane. You can see that his Mahindra's there now, but oh dear. This is not how he wanted it to have happen to him. So he's in the pits right now. 1.2 seconds separates the leaders. It does seem like that gap has stagnated a little bit. And now on lap 7 of 20, it's going to be all about who can pull the trigger first when it comes to coming into the pits. It's just hovering around 7 tenths of a second, 13 tenths of a second. That's been the gap. Karim Chandok's in the pits. And it looks like Trulli Grand Prix is going to be the first team to pull their driver into the pits for a scheduled pit stop, while the leaders are coming in to that long left-hander. So on board with Blade Dragon Sonic, this was actually going to be one of the helmets he was going to use at the many American E-Prix that we've had this season. But he's decided, nah, it's got 4 stars, we'll use it in the final race and add a 5th star. He was overconfident. There's no 5th star. And he's in the pits first out of the 2. So Blade Dragon Sonic, it's lap 8 off 20. He's going to come out in 8th place, it seems. He's going to come out in traffic. Ravo, his former teammates, also in the pits. He's coming out on mediums. They do seem to be, they're brand new set for him, but for Ravo, scrubbed mediums going on. He's been jumped by U-Cable just about as Mohammed Awali's been given a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision, and that seems to be with Aldridge. It seems, no, it's Tom O'Connor. It does seem to be just a minor touch, but many drivers coming into the pits at the end of their lap 7. Meanwhile, championship leader Ronnie Sola on lap 8 of 20. He's got 12 laps to go. He just needs to stay ahead of the man with the pink and I guess, how do I put it? The man with the pink and fluorescent yellow helmet. He was gonna it almost looks like he could win the championship. Ronnie Sola coming into the pits now. He's going to have 1 lap fresher tyres than Blade Dragon Sonic. But is he going to get jumped? So Milestone leads. Catfish is second. Babness peeling into the pits on the same lap. So that will elevate not Lewis Hamilton into 3rd. But Blade Dragon Sonic is on the main straight. Will it be close? It's very close, but Sola remains ahead of the Mercedes. Just that pit exit, but this is the closest they've been since lap 2. He's gonna get DRS here, will that Mercedes, but so will the Jaguar of Ronnie Sola in the 10. He might be driving that 1 next season. And Stefan Sadazan is in the pits, but he pulls out on not Lewis Hamilton. Does Sola? This is going to help him greatly. He doesn't need to make that overtake, but he's going to want to make sure that the number 1 can stay behind him. Not Lewis Hamilton is struggling on those hard tyres. They give a lot of longevity, but nothing more than that. Because there is no pace in the hard tyres at all. To start on the hard tyres is to give up on winning the race. Not Milestone, he's peeling into the pits at the end of this lap. Catfish is going to stay out for another tour. So right now, Blade Dragon Sonic, he's got his work cut out for him. We're at half race distance here in Marina Bay. No one has retired from the C-Prix yet. We have had no major incidents apart from the Nawali's 5-second time penalty and Yusuf's puncture, which were both self-contained incidents. Ronnie Sola setting the fastest sector of anyone. Does the Mercedes have DRS coming across the line? No, he does not. And this and that might have just been it. If he cannot close in on the Jaguar, that could be championship over. That is Tom O'Connor fighting with Batuko there, over position. Same could be said for his teammate, but Catfish is going very slowly on those hard tires, trying to nurse them into the pits at half race distance. They are not doing the distance that well. Alan Lee's mediums have been going very well, very quick. Seemingly, he's been putting in some pretty okay times, as Tom O'Connor's been overtaken by Batuko through there into the pits. No, Catfish is staying out on lap 11. He's staying out for a very long time here. Wonder if he might give Solar DRS on the main straight if he's gonna keep up this bad showing of pace. Blade of Dragon Sonic, he's about 1.3 seconds down at the DRS detection point. He's nowhere near fast enough to catch him. Stone, however, in 5th place, is very much near enough to catch Lewis Hamilton, and does. Up into 4th place he goes. The Maserati has no pace, and into the pits finally comes Alan Lee. His return season, can he get points in his final race in what is effectively his reintroduction to the championship? He's going to put on soft tyres, going to come out probably around Aldridge, on board with the Dragon. He's behind the Dragon, and he's down in what is effectively last place, because Yusuf needs a safety car, and a safety car does not seem likely. Solar's being held up by his teammate there, but on lap 12, he's sent it down the inside. Not much of a fight has been put up there, but now that fight is being put up. Milestone setting the fastest lap of the Prix, a 1:14.333. Down the inside goes Catfish at the DRS detection point. And so who's going to get DRS out of the two Jaguars? It's going to be Ronnie Solar. So on the straight, they're having a fight over the lead. Yes, it's a fight over the lead, but it's a fight that I don't think Ronnie wants to have, because it's his own teammate for one, and for two, it's his championship on the line. Him refraining from having a fight with his teammate last season is exactly why he didn't win the championship last season. So maybe, just maybe, he has those last 2 laps in Abuja on his mind, and doesn't want a repeat of those events. Into the pits comes Sanchez and Dennis. Very similar names those two have. I do now realize that I've misspelt Stefan Sadazan there. But now Catfish holding up Blade Dragon Sonic pretty well there, but he comes into the pits on this lap. And we're getting word that it was a tyre failure on the hard tyres coming through the final turn that Jaguar caught immediately and reacted very quickly. But Ronnie Solar is 4.1 seconds ahead of his championship rival. We have 7 laps to go, and he's 4.1 seconds ahead. That is numbers that at the very least look insurmountable. As it stands in the Constructors' Championship though, Mercedes would win it. But in the Drivers, Jaguars, Ronnie Solar, one of the few drivers to have competed in every season and almost every race. To list those drivers off now, that would be Solar, Dragon Sonic, Catfish, Ravo, Cable, not Lewis Hamilton, Nelson, Batuko, O'Connor. Cable going slowly there. Not too sure what that's about. Sierra's in the pits. He's come out on softs. Lap 14 of 20. And I think it's a safe bet to say that Ronnie Solar could become the Season 5 champion. The first time a non-Mercedes driver, in fact, the first time Blade of Dragon Sonic would not win the championship, which is going to be an absolute joy to see, to be honest. You can only see the same driver win in the championship so many times. Catfish setting the fastest first sector of anyone. He's going very good. He's going very well on his softs, and Stone's going very well on his softs as well. Well, the two Mercedes drivers are free to fight. So this means that Stone could get down the inside through the long left-hander. That is this turn 9. He doesn't do it, of course. They're 0.5 of a second away. But it looks likely there. Scarily likely for the lead Mercedes driver. But luckily for him, those softs don't look as if they're going to keep being up to par for too much longer. I don't think it's a 2-stop race around here. We've got 5 laps to the checkered. And Stoll is coming through traffic now. Oh, but the two Mercedes drivers are 0.3. They're going side by side through the S's. Stone getting up into second place. Yeah, we've just had team radio from Blade Dragon Sonic as into the pits comes Raybo. He was not the first one of the top 6 to pit for the first time, but for the second time he is. Maybe the undercut for the second time round is going to be more powerful this time. 3 seconds looks insurmountable. However, it does not look easy. And now Blade Dragon Sonic would have to undercut his teammate and the race leader, the current acting championship leader, it seems. Blade Dragon Sonic is all over the back of his own teammate. He sent it down the inside, so close between the two Mercedes drivers. It's a wonder they didn't touch through there. They did not even collide. Will they pit one of the drivers on this lap? No, they're staying out on lap 16 of 20. Will they go to the end on their ties? I don't think they should. They don't look as if they're going to make it to the end. But that man in the 10, he might have to drop the 0 from that next season. It looks very likely that he's going to take the championship. Blade Dragon Sonic lapping some cars that need to be lapped. Stone has built up a gap to his own teammate, and it looks as if it's all over for the Mercedes man. But Solar is going pretty slowly on his mediums. It doesn't look like he's had some kind of puncture. Yusuf coming in for a second time. He kind of had to with how early he stopped for the first time. Coming into the kind of cookie-cutter corners of the third sector though, this is where those tires really get heated up. So out of the top 3, will any of them pull the trigger? Sol is staying out. Stone is staying out, but the man he just lapped is coming in, and Blade Dragon Sonic is into the pits. Bazooka and Medusas are both in, but with 3 laps to go, the 4-time champion has decided to take the gamble, go on to softs. As Catfish gets past him while he's in the pits, Fabness is ahead. UK Ball is not going to be ahead. It's just going to be a fact. He's nowhere near. It's an 18-second pit stop. UK Ball's also coming into the pits on this lap. He's on the softs. Will the men in first and second come into the pits at the end of this lap, go on to slick tires? And if that's the case, where will they be in relation to the man in the 1? Solar coming into the third sector now, coming through it. He's very close to Yusuf, who has been lapped by everyone, by the way. The 2 Revolution Racing drivers are only a sector away and are basically the only car in between. Never mind. But yeah, Blade Dragon Sonic setting the fastest second sector of anyone. Lap 18 of 20. Oh, and he almost collided with the McLaren that did Catfish, but Tomo Tom O'Connor was coming in. Same with Corinne Shandok, Stefan Sadazan, and Marcus Nelson. Inet Babness is into the pits on lap 18. We have 2 laps to go. The next time we come across the start finish, it will be the penultimate lap of the Prix. That's very slow going from the top 2 though. They are not setting the timing boards alight. None of the top 3 are. They're on very worn tyres. But those very worn tyres have given them an 18-second gap. If they stay out for another sector, by my calculations, Solar would be undercut. And he does seem to be undercut at this point. It's 17 seconds between Solar and Blade of Dragon Sonic. He's opening that gap up again. It's almost a whole pit stop away. Blade of Dragon Sonic does not have the aid of DRS to help him down the straight, but neither does Solar. So he's got very slidey tyres as he comes into the pits on the penultimate lap of the E3. Stone's in as well. Catfish, he's still out on track. Will he come in? He stays out again. So lap 19 of 20, the penultimate lap of this E3. We're going to go on board with the Mercedes of Blade of Dragon Sonic, keeping your eyes on the mini-map. Who's going to come out ahead? As Inet Babness getting a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. Rodney Solar is just ahead of Blade of Dragon Sonic and the McLaren of Jake Dennis. Yes, it's Jake Dennis there. But for the first time in the CE Prix, Blade of Dragon Sonic is going to get DRS on Solar. But will it be enough? He's going to have 3 more DRS opportunities to try and get past that Jaguar. It's going to come down to the line as it's come down to the wire in Season 5. On board with the Mercedes EQ car then, he's going to get another dosing of DRS. He's going to, hopefully, for him at least, gain. He's 3/10 back. Through the left-hander, he does lose a bit of time through grip and things like that. Fastest second sector going to Milestone. He's punching in fastest sectors since he's come into the pits. Catfish, he's staying out. He's looking like he's going to win the race. It's the final lap of Season 5. Catfish is leading. But what we're focusing on right now is the championship battle, the fight for second, as Jake Dennis pits. Blade of Dragon Sonic, he's losing time to the Jaguar ahead of him. It's all about if he can get past him through the 3rd sector. Solar setting the fastest first sector of anybody. It's at 12.916. He's going to get no DRS. The man behind him will. He's going to keep gaining. Will that Mercedes of Blade of Dragon Sonic in the number 1 car? 5/10 of a second. 2/10 as we come through the chicane. And it's all so close as we now come down into the final opportunity for overtaking. They're 4/10 away from each other. That gap ever increasing as we come through the left-hander. Ronnie Solar setting the fastest second sector of anybody. We're now getting new information about the Mahindra upgrades, but as Catfish comes through the final turn to win the Yas Island E-Prix, this man in the number 10 coming up towards the final turn. Catfish wins the Yas Island E-Prix, and Rodney Solar is the first, and for the first time, Rodney Solar is a champion in the Formula E Monoposto Championship. Blade of Dragon Sonic coming home in 3rd, and he's just a few points short of getting past that Jaguar in the championship. Then comes Milestone with the fastest lap of the E-Prix. Not Lewis Hamilton. Inet Babness, Ravo, Ukable, Batuko, and Marcus Nelson rounding out your top 10. And that, everyone, is the end for Season 5 of the championship. Yusuf now just coming through the final few turns of Sector 3. But congratulations to Jaguar. They have not just taken the Drivers' Championship, they've done the double. If my calculations are correct, Jaguar not just win the Drivers' Championship, but win in the Constructors. So this is your podium then. Catfish wins. It's a one-stop strategy, proving itself just a bit better than the two-stop that the men behind him did. But Rodney Sola is the champion for Season 5, followed by his adversary, Bladed Dragon Sonic. Then comes Milestone coming home with the fastest lap of the Prix. Then Not Lewis Hamilton, Ravo, Ironet, Babness, and UK Ball. Then comes Batuko, Marcus Nelson, Sierra, Stefan Sadazan, Medicis, O'Connor, Chandok, Alan Lee, Aldridge, Polrock, Jake Dennis, Dash Sanchez, Mohamed Awawi, and Yusuf. In the driver's standings, the final standings for Season 5, Rodney Sola wins on 263 points, 3 ahead of Bladed Dragon Sonic. Then comes Not Lewis Hamilton on 196 points, 1 ahead of UK Ball, who was on 195. Then comes Milestone on 175, 1 ahead of Catfish, who was on 174. Then Ravo on 166, Ironet Babness on 161, Medicis on 63, Tom O'Connor on 53, Jake Dennis on 42, Marcus Nelson also on 42, Sanchez and Sadazan both on 30 points, Yusuf on 28, Sierra on 27, Chandok on 25, Polrock on 24, tied with Nawawi and Alan Lee. Batuko is on 21 points, and Aldridge in last place on 15 points. Your World Constructors Champions by 2 points are Jaguar Racing, 2 ahead of Mercedes EQ. Then comes Revolution Racing on 361 points, Maserati on 357, McLaren Neon on 65 points, Team Aguri on 87, Mahindra Racing on 70 points, DS Virgin Racing on 51 points, tied with Upstate for Audi Sport. Then comes Trilly Grand Prix on 49 points, and in last place, Dragon Racing on 45 points. Well, it's been a brilliant season in Season 5. A brand new champion has been crowned, and we'll be ready to do it all over again next time in Season 6.